So by now, we've all seen those images, horrific images on TV, the fires in LA, the homes destroyed, the people, of course, who've had to be evacuated. It's been heartbreaking to watch. And, we had someone on the other day, a former Montrealer, and there's apparently quite a few living in LA. Some have been there for years, describing what it was like. But today's is a bit of a different, unique perspective, if you will. Maxine Gervais, a Montrealer who's been living in LA since about 2006. Her husband works as a captain with the LA Fire Department. So, as I said, a completely different perspective. I wonder what that's been like. So we'll try to find out. Maxine, how are you? And thank you for being here, by the way.
Oh, my pleasure. I'm okay. How about you?
Well. I don't care about me. You're in the midst of all this, and you're living this sort of every day. So, first of all, let's talk about your husband. Now, your husband's been doing this for quite a while, right?
Yeah, he's been a firefighter for 18 years now,
Okay.
and he's been a captain. I mean, he was like a AO. I don't know if you have that in Canada, but like a apparatus, sorry, sort of, captain, and then he's been like captain one for like over a year now.
So now explain how he got involved originally. Did this start on Monday or Tuesday out where you are?
It started, I mean, the flame started probably like on the 6th, but they were
Okay.
small. It broke, like kind of the apocalyptic way on the 7th. So he woke up at 5, went to work, not knowing, what was going on. But like as soon as he got there on the 7th in the morning, he was dispatched to the Pacific Palisade fire. So yeah, so he's been there. Like he, showed up there. It was already like burning quite widely, and he was there for, I would say, more than 48 hours because he left, at 5, like I said, on the 7th, and then that's Tuesday, and then he was back Thursday afternoon. So
Wow.
took a while for them to, because like, yeah, they couldn't let anybody go. It was just so hectic and so chaotic, and like I said, apocalyptic is his description.
Yeah. Yeah. So he had times when he was working literally 2 days straight.
Yeah, I mean, typically fire, like the LAFD, their shift is 24, then one day off, 24,
Right.
one day off. Like that's kind of typical. But yeah, like he was like a little bit more, like I'd say 2.5 days on the fire until he could wait for someone to, relief, like his relief. But they couldn't let anybody go. They had to just basically go, no sleep. They had like some Crustables sandwiches, like, those little prepackaged foods kind of brought to them.
Yeah.
So they could go and access a little bit of food and water and keep going, basically. But, the adrenaline run through their veins, and they're just kind of so wired up. Like you don't feel tired. Even when he got home, he wasn't even kind of tired. He was still on the adrenaline, so it took him a while to even, like, be able to rest.
Wow. I'm wondering, too, because, we kept seeing here or hearing here, beyond just being a firefighter, how frustrating it was. In some cases, they couldn't get water. They couldn't access water from hydrants. Did he tell you what was going on?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't talk. I mean, I cannot really quote him because, like, he doesn't want to, talk on the behalf of LAFD or whatever. But what I can say is that they experienced fire hydrant pretty early on. Lack of pressure, so water was not coming out of the fire hydrant, which would have,
Wow.
you could say, because everyone's like, oh, you could have never stopped that. And there's, a little bit of truth to that, but you could have definitely minimized the devastation of
Sure.
the structure because they would show up and hook up to the fire hydrant. And like that, we're talking first day, we're talking the 7th, like early, like later that night, already running out of water. So, they have like fire, obviously they have tanks in their fire truck, but that empties quite quickly, so they would have to go and try to find pools or drive in different areas, see like if they could refill from different fire hydrants, but like that costs a lot of time, and obviously it can't be as efficient when you're looking constantly to refill your truck with water. At the beginning they did have a little bit of water, but like I said, it ran out pretty quick, so that added to the dramatic impact of, trying to fight those fires.
What's the situation now, as you understand it? I know they're warning again about the big Santa Ana winds coming in again. Do you know what's the latest from your perspective there?
Well, my husband is at work. I had like really, I mean, when he's busy like that and these kind of things. So he's at work right now. I have like really limited communication with him, which normally means he's very busy. The last I heard from him, he was saying that they are trying to replace all the hose because all the hose got burned. So, they're like, like all the trucks and everything are trying to get new hose to be able to go back out because there's a lot of like, when you go and fight those fighters, eventually the hose like take a beat as well. So that's the only thing that I heard. The wind is supposed to pick up really high tonight, like 70 miles per hour. Right now it's mostly in Ventura County, the Santa Ana winds that are, blowing, but like it should be moving into LA a little later tonight. But I'm not quite sure. Like I know like they're all on high alert, and like I said, right now they're just trying like before the wind kicks in, like get all the hose and get all ready, and that's that's the latest I heard. So I don't know more than that.
No, I'm just wondering. I mentioned too off the top. It's interesting. We had someone from Montreal who's now living in LA the other day. I know a couple of other people from here. You're from here originally. Do you know folks in LA? I mean, you work in production, I guess, in Hollywood production. Are there a lot of Montrealers that you're aware of down there?
Actually, no. Oh. Like it's so funny because I do work with like some cinematographers that are Canadian. I work with C. Kim Miles, who's based in Vancouver, and I work with Yves Belanger, which he's based in Montreal. But mostly, I work with them when they do American production. So I know Maxine Gervais pretty good too. She used to live here in LA, but she just recently moved to Florida. So all the friends that I know are not, based here. They work here, but they're not based here.
Does any of this, you hear from people, because this is not new to LA. Obviously, the scope of this has been very much, different than any other fire that's been there. But it's an area where this seems to happen more and more. And we're told now with climate change, and, this is the kind of thing we should start expecting. You ever sit back and go, you know what, maybe LA is not the place to be?
It's funny because, we've had, we just were evacuated in the big Somis fire, end of November, the beginning of December here. It burned 200 houses in Camarillo, Ventura County. So that was a pretty big fire as well. But, it's like my career is here, and I tried to do my career in Montreal. They rejected me. So I'm just kidding. But, yeah, I know that there's going to be a lot of disaster. I don't know if it's going to just be unique to California. Who knows where the next thing, Vancouver had big fires. Sure. I mean, Quebec could have major snowstorm and icing, whatever. The thing is, we don't really know where things are going to be or where the next big disaster is going to be. So I think we just need to live and adapt. And, have the proper infrastructure, put a lot of money into, the first responder, just be more prepared, I guess, and invest in that aspect. Because, even if you try to slow down the climate change, for example, it's not going to be tomorrow. So you can do dual, protect or try to prepare and mitigate at the same time. So... but California became my home. I've been here since 2006, so maybe I'll retire back in Canada, but right now there's no short-term coming back. Well,
you know what? I wish you well. I wish your husband well and all the people out there working so hard to try to help families who, basically lost everything. It's hard to watch. I can't imagine what the rebuilding is going to be like and how so many of these people end up continuing their lives when you look at a place that you lived in for 40 or 50 years and literally it's gone, burnt to the ground. It's a horrific thing to have to watch. And obviously to have to live through.
Lots of my friends, DPs, and lots of Hollywood celebrities and lots of, producer DPs have all lost their houses. So I know a lot of people already that, have lost everything. Yeah. So it is very, very sad.
Listen, I wish you well. I thank you so much for taking the time. Give our best to your husband as well, okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, Maxine Gervais, former Montrealer, living in L.A., whose husband is a captain with the L.A. Fire Department.